and a company called Llama.Zoo, and so Innovations provided the funding. Llama.Zoo is a software development company, and the UBC, we provided a lot of the operational expertise to the project. And I'll just start, and I think we've heard a little bit about this also in the keynotes this morning. So we are starting to collect more and more data. We may be in a situation, or in general, we don't know what to do with all this data, and we need to develop and use tools that allow for this interoperability of this data in the future. And if we translate that to the forest sector, we have also started, I think maybe later than some other industries, especially compared to mining, to collecting data with onboard computers, and maybe I'm speaking a bit more in the North American context, I think in Nordic countries, and that has been done for a much longer time. But we are definitely faced with data fragmentation. It is in different formats, in different categories, and the exchange of information is very challenging. At the same time, in the forest sector, we have very many different values and stakeholders, and getting all those combined and into a coherent unit has also been very challenging, at least for us in Canada. And visualization of our data is also challenging, and we believe that, of course, we have one solution that might help with that. And I think especially on the interoperability between GIS systems and some of the other software packages that we're using is a big challenge in the forest sector. So we have started to get involved in these, what we like to call immersive visual analytics, and I'm not a software guru. I have started to work with some of them, so some of the terms that they're using are also somewhat new to me. But this company, Llama.Zoo, of course, they're in virtual reality and augmented reality. And for those that don't know the difference, augmented reality, you wear your Google glasses, Pokemon games, for example, when you use your phone, and it adds another layer of reality to the existing reality. Whereas in virtual reality, you're fully immersed. It's these headsets where you are fully immersed in the technology. So within our project, we focus on the virtual reality, or then on we also have the 2D version. What this immersive visual analytics really allows is to combine large data sets and develop a completely new user experience, which is more engaging, more intuitive to use once you kind of let yourself into the technology. We find that especially the older generation is much more hesitant to try and test the tool, but I think especially with my students, it has been very successful. So this visual immersive analytics is really providing a completely new interactive experience that I have found very useful in teaching. So what we have done is develop this tool. It's called TimberOps, and it's essentially a forestry digital twin. As I said, it's been a collaboration, and we have developed this tool, and I have a little video later on too, into VR, so that's the fully immersed version, and then a desktop version where you have some added functionality, but it's really easy to switch between the two tools. But for the people that don't like the full VR experience, some people get sick too. For them, there's a desktop version as well. And this is a proof of concept. This is not a commercial tool. yet. Of course, the company involved is trying to develop this into a commercial tool, but I'm not fully convinced, and you know, if you have some thoughts on this, come talk to me later, whether this is something the forest sector is really going to use. We find that everybody likes it, but nobody wants to invest in it, which of course is a problem when you try to develop it further. So some of the benefits that why we set out to do this, and you can see here that we had an industry partner that has supported the project from the very beginning. It was actually a situation where both Interfor and UBC and Innovations, we started talking about a VR, developing a VR tool. At the same time, we joined forces and kind of combined our efforts into this one tool. We had a public competition for a provider. Lamazu was the winning bid, and because they have a lot more experience in mining, again, I said earlier, the mining sector has invested in that before, but they have a much easier situation because they're more static. They're talking about very restricted areas, whereas in forestry we're talking about hundreds of thousands of hectares that eventually would have to go into a tool like that. So it's been kind of an industry-driven effort from the very beginning, and the driving force behind this is to save on the operational planning and boots on the ground. In the Canadian context, we still fly crews into cut blocks, sometimes 3 times, and there's an opportunity to really lower that cost, and especially the cut block planning and improving the planning accuracy. We also believe that this is a tool in stakeholder engagement and consultation. We have lots of a new reality with First Nations consultation in the Canadian context, where any project you're planning, you have to have meaningful consultation with First Nations, and this can be a very drawn-out process sometimes. And again, this is, I think, a tool that can help in that process where everybody can see the same thing and can see the impact of what's happening on the land base. Training, of course, is another big topic that we've already talked about, and better land management, and of course safety, which in the Canadian context is again a very big factor. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is unfortunately I didn't want to drag my laptop and VR headset with me from Vancouver. But right now it runs on a gaming computer. When I came home with that gaming computer, I kind of went up a notch in the coolness factor with my kids. And then on a HTC Vive headset. And so you can see here that's a 500 hectare area that kind of was developed with Interfor. This is on Vancouver Island. It's a little bit north of Campbell River. And so what you have here is the individual tree heights. So we have displayed individual trees, canopy heights, topography, slope, and different tree species. And I'll just go through a few shots here. You can see the canopy height model visualization. And again, this has proven to be quite a useful tool, especially for Interfor, to determine where they can find some of those bigger trees. For example, here you can see an area when we go there where they actually realized in this cut block, actually here, in this cut block, they actually missed a bunch of big trees that they should have harvested. That whenever they were surveying this from the ground, they didn't find those trees. So somebody almost got in trouble after if they've seen this tool. So that's the canopy height visualization. And then we have also integrated a tool so that you can project all the existing cut blocks and future cut blocks that are going to be planned. So this is the different lines here in the brown lines. you see the cut blocks, and in the gray lines, that's roads that are supposed to be planned. You have navigation on the side. So right now we're in the 2D version, and I'll have a little snapshot of what the 3D version looks like later. So this is the road planning feature, so you can add the road kind of where you think it is going to be. You can kind of turn on and off the trees, so you see the landscape, what it looks like underneath the trees. You can see now the trees have been removed from that road, so and then you can actually fly down and walk along the road where you have just removed the trees. You can see now it clears the trees, and you can see here now that the trees are removed from that area. Again, in terms of consultation, planning, operational planning of operations, this is quite useful. This is the cut block planning tool. You can put your cut block in, and I think there should be an animation as well, maybe later. Cut block planning, again, you have the ability to remove the tree, see what it looks like, and it takes away some of that fear too, with what the impact is on the landscape. If I just go back a couple of slides, so there's cruise ships going down past here, past this area, and there's big concerns around visual impact, and so this should help in determining whether there are any visual impacts or not. Here we have slope over 120%. Again, that's very helpful in kind of road planning. And here you can see another feature of the slope analysis on the left and the topographic view on the right. And then right now we are working on another feature which is an integration, or not an integration, but a compatibility, kind of coming back to the different data sets, the compatibility with RoadEng, so that you can plan a road in our tool. You can export that file into RoadEng. It does all the calculations of mass movements, and then you export it back and see again what it looks like after it's done. So that's a feature we are currently working on. And then you can actually go down, and so now we're in the forest, you can walk along the road that you just planned and then see whether there's any water streams or water crossings that you've missed, what the landscape and topography looks like. And so when you walk through there, because this company is coming from the gaming sector, so it's like, I don't know if anybody has ever played these hunting games, but you can walk through there, the trees are actually moving, you hear the wind blowing. It's quite an experience. And then we, in last November, with this proof of concept, we actually did some teaching. I had a class of about 55 students that went through the tool. We worked with UBC. We have an emerging media lab that is working with these new technologies. They have, I think we have 4 stations that all the students had the opportunity to go through. And for many, it was an eye-opener. It was a second-year class where we had just talked about road planning, switchback planning, and the students really struggled with the 2D view, with our traditional topographic maps, and trying to put the roads or determining where the road should go. And once they kind of have seen this tool, they got it. It was a really interesting experience because they could actually see, understand, you can look at everything from different angles, you can fly to wherever you want. And so the feedback was really positive, and some of them asked whether they will have this tool on their summer jobs where they have to plan roads, and then I had to tell them no, not yet, hopefully in a few years. But so I think from a teaching perspective, there's a really big opportunity, whether it's this tool or any other tool. I think that will really help the new generation come up to speed much faster than we've had in the past. And then the last effort that we have worked on is the integration into Esri. So you're able now to take all your different data layers that you have in your GIS system and put them into the VR tool and back. So vice versa. That's again this kind of compatibility. Although we've kind of struggled a little bit now because we don't want to develop another Esri tool, or we don't want to develop another GIS tool. So we're in the process of determining really the best use case and the best application of something like that moving forward, because again, we have existing tools and nobody wants to develop a competing tool. It should be an addition or kind of this integrator that I've talked about earlier. Of course, when we work with the Canadian industry, you cannot do anything without a return on investment, otherwise you don't get any research done. So, we've kind of had to demonstrate what are some of the potential cost savings in terms of road building, planning, as I said earlier, helicopter time. Safety, of course, is something that you can't really put a price tag on. But you get a general idea of the kind of things that we try to pay attention to. And so specifically to forest operations, the kind of use cases that we are working on is visual quality assessments. That's something that has to be done for every cut block. As I said earlier, the cruise ship is a good example. So for every area that you're planning to harvest, you have to do a visual quality assessment. It's a very painful process right now where you actually have to take a helicopter to 3 or 4 viewpoints, have to take a picture and submit a report to government. And with this, you can literally do this on your desktop, take a few screenshots from different places and send it off. So big opportunity there. And that's where we got a lot of positive feedback from industry as well. Automatic grade guidance. So if you put in a grade for a road, if you go over your road specifications, your line turns red or orange so that you kind of know you're going up too steep right now. Kind of practical tools like that. Deflection line calculations, visualization, that's another important integration that we want to work with RoadEng. Volume calculations, so if you plan a cut block, that you automatically get the volume that you're planning for right now. Distance measurements for stream crossings, any kind of distance measurement as you are in virtual reality, and then of course at the end here, the ability to view different data sets at the same time. This is now the second phase. I just completed, we got some funding to digitize our UBC research forest. So this is now upscaled to 5,000 hectares. You can see it's much more different terrain, larger area, and it's a demonstration case of the different values we have. All the different research experiments that we want to display here, that you can look at them and plan your operations around all these different research plots. So it's, I think, a test case for a community forest, or when you have mule deer winter range, caribou habitat, and you have to manage those things across the land base, which is a big topic for us right now as landscape level planning. And I think that can be one tool to do it. This is a snapshot of our old growth forest. Those are 300, 400-year-old trees, and as we heard earlier, you can cut any of those, and so again, it's proper management of these areas. And so we're working on kind of upscaling this to the next layer. So industry is really only interested once we can do it on 100,000, 300,000 hectares. But then it becomes a data processing issue, as we heard earlier. How do you process that? So we have to move it into the cloud. The analytical tools on the harvest planning side, and then we have to do, of course, do user studies with the forest sector. Do we have time for a quick video? So it shows some of the same simulations, but really the really cool thing is that you have this sensation that you're really flying, and you can kind of move up and down as you want to. Again, this is kind of the 2D version, but in the 3D version you have the two joysticks in your hand, and once you move the joystick, you get a menu on your left hand, and you have a laser pointer on in your right hand, and then you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do. So here's a display of the different cut blocks that we can visualize, and And here's that functionality to plan a cut block and see what that looks like when it's harvested. One of the biggest challenges that we found working with a software company that knows nothing about the forest sector is making them understand the forest sector. And you know, some of the functionalities that they came up with were completely useless for a forester, but they make more sense in the mining sector. So we spend a lot of time with these developers and training them on what the forest sector is looking for. It was quite an interesting experience. So you can see now that they marked the trees here, and now the functionality is to being able to remove those trees from that cut block and then see what that looks like. Another important issue we want to work on is then simulating forward. So most people are concerned when the cut block looks brown right after harvesting, but giving users confidence that after 5 years, 10 years, it turns green and it doesn't look as bad as